It's that time of the year again, the time for 11/11. So today in this video, I'm going to show you my recommendation for this upcoming 11/11. Just as a disclaimer, most of these IEMs have been provided by Keep5i as a review sample. So just a disclaimer there, they aren't paying me to say anything good or bad about all of these IEMs, and just, So if you saw my last 11/11 video, you remember that I went by price categories, starting with $10 or $20, I believe, then 30, then 50, and then my, let's say my only recommendation if you only wanted one single IM, and that is here, the dntarcbusiness T2 Plus. These are still my top recommendation. I haven't found anything that sounds as good as this yet, so just right off the bat, if you want just one IEM that does everything, sounds good, has a lot of bass, vocals are a little bit weird with this, but regardless, so yeah, if you only want one IEM, this is still my recommendation. So if you only wanted to know that, thanks for stopping by and bye bye. But now for those who want to see more IEMs, so what if you wanted a very cheap and inexpensive IEM? Here they are. So if you recognize this pouch, you would know that these are the Moondrop Quarks. Oh my god, they look terrible. These little things. I have here CP100 spin feeds because feed is kind of weird with this personally, but yeah, these are, I believe, $10 if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. So these are bullet style IEMs, and they have a very laid back, bassy, and fun sound signature. The only problem is that, as you saw, these don't have a detachable cable. So if the cable goes wrong, if your plug started to don't work, yeah, these are pretty messed up. I have already seen some people do MMCX mods with this, which is kind of weird, but yeah, these are really inexpensive. I'm not saying that these are, bad or cheap. They actually feel pretty well built, as you saw in the when I first took them out of the pouch. Yeah, these like to tangle. The cable is kind of meh, but yeah, I mean, if you want to get a taste of the IEM rabbit hole, these are a good place to start. But now, let's say that you don't want something with an attached cable. You want something cheap, but really good. Now, I have you covered. So, I think most of you already know about KC and CCA. They are pretty much the same thing. So, like I said, if you don't want, get out. So, if you don't want an attached cable, you always can buy this, the KC EDX Pro. I don't know why recently every company in the world, well, for IEMs, is adding Pro to their thing. These aren't professional. No. Far from professional. But anyways, these are, in my opinion, the new IEM to beat. These are wonderful. I don't know what Casey did, but yeah, I mean, bass is there, yeah, but it's not bloaty. It doesn't bleed into the mids or anything like that. The mids are really nicely bodied. Vocals sound excellent. They are a little bit forward, and well, treble is kind of like Casey treble. It's a little bit thin at times. It is not shouty, but yeah, it doesn't have a lot of extension or body. So treble might sound a little bit cheap, but together with all of the nice sound quality altogether that this has, is just a very pleasant IEM. And also you can get it in clear, which is one of my favorite. I don't know, it's not a color, but yeah, I love transparent IEMs just because you can see all of the guts and the drivers and such. In that same note, what if you wanted something quirky for around the same price? Well, what about the CCA NRAs? NRA? I don't know. These are really weird because these are the cheapest IEM that you can buy with a electrostatic driver. This is not exactly an ES3 driver. I think this is a magnetostat or something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'm very bad with that. But yeah, that is a kind of driver that you would see in very high-end IEMs. Yet you can get one of those for like I believe $30. I mean that's really crazy. And sound quality is not bad. I mean, at first I thought these were going to be very thin, that with zero bass, but no, these are actually really fun. They are really musical. Soundstage is good. Instrument separation is nice. The mids are a little bit, let's say, too clean for my taste. I mean, they lack a little bit of warmth, but that is not a deal breaker. So yeah, I mean, both of these are really similar. I mean, they are, let's say, balanced. They have bass, yeah, but they don't have a lot of bass. Mids are clear, and treble is, is your typical budget hi-fi treble. So yeah, whichever of these two is a really nice buy if you want a little bit more fun and musical sound signature. But now, what if you want super bass? Well, let's say hello to the new kid in town, the coffee beans from CCC. I hate that name. But this is a new brand to this whole super hi-fi budget IEMs. This is, let's say, their cheapest IEM. And well, one thing that I can assure you is that their packaging is really nice. Look at that. So yeah, as you saw there, I have an aftermarket cable because this is their cable. It's kind of the same as the BK4s. You can see that it's really stiff. Yeah, this is a very bad cable. But besides from that, these are some of the bassiest IEM that I've heard. Like, that bass is really dirty. I mean, in a very fun way. So let me detach it. This is a single dynamic driver IEM. Again, pretty new to this whole IEM game, but yeah, as you can see, it's a very weird fin here, which makes them stupidly comfortable. I don't know how they come up with these designs, but yeah, I mean, this is really comfortable. And like I said, bass is a monster on this. Like, these are super bassy. These are not only bassy, soundstage is surprisingly good on this. It's a little bit wider than expected. Imaging is not the best, you know, bass kind of makes imaging a little bit unstable, so yeah, some instruments get lost in, you know, in some super busy songs, but regardless. So yeah, bass is super elevated on this. It's a really fun set, but I mean, if you want a set for critical listening, yeah, these are not the ones. Treble is okay, I would say. It's not the most detailed, it's just meh, but yeah, these are super fun. And well, like I said, I would recommend getting an aftermarket cable because the cable sucks. But yeah, I mean, if you want a super stupidly basic IM, get the coffee beans. But if you want a something more lean, more clean, more analytical, let's say, you can get either the NRAs or the EDX Pros, whichever you want. But now that I've teased you with a very stinky bass, I hear you say, I want something bassy but good. Man, what about the Blonde Minis? These are spectacular. You know, Blonde has a history of making super bassy and warm IEMs, but this is something else. I mean, I don't know how to describe the sound signature because it sounds super balanced but with a hint of bass. I did a full review of this already, and well, yeah. If you cannot afford the Tinta Hi-Fi T2 Plus for whatever reason, get this, honestly. I can see myself living out of this, you know, and not needing another IM if I only had, you know, a very tight budget. The thing is that these are very weird fitting. As you can see, these are super small, hence why they are called Blonde Mini. And I'm using their kind of spin fit like ear tips because those give me the best seal and fit. But yeah, I mean, you can always use some spin fits and fix the fit issues. So yeah, These are basic, but the mids sound really clean, and the treble is not bad. It has a little bit of extension, the detail retrieval is super nice, and the cable, finally, the cable is really good for a blonde IM. If you have been kind of an OG blonde fan, you know that their cables suck. The blonde minis are a super safe buy in this 1111 if you only want one IM with super nice bass and well the technicalities and all to have some critical listening. So if you have been very observant, all of the IEMs that I've showed you have been either one dynamic driver or kind of a hybrid configuration. I'm looking at you, NRAs, you are weird. But yeah, what if you wanted a VA set? Well, from KB Ear, the Neons. I was actually planning on doing a review of this before 11.11, but I didn't have the time. So these are spectacular again. All of the IMs that I'm showing you here are really nice, hence why I'm recommending it to you. If not, well, it's just why would I recommend you something that is not good? But anyways, and I don't know if you can see, these are a single BA set, a single balance armature driver. And I know what you might be thinking, well, these are going to sound weak and super trebly and ill, why? But you are mistaken and you owe me an apology. These are actually super balanced. These have a tuning super close to what is called a diffuse field tuning, I believe, don't quote me on that. And well, these are excellent for critical listening. Bass is super tight, is really clean, the extension is there. I mean, there is a little bit of soft bass rumble, not too much, but yeah, bass is super fast, and it lacks a little bit of, let's say, of texture. It sounds a little bit plasticky at times. It doesn't have the best tonality, but I mean, it's impressive considering this is only a balanced armature set. The mids, these are excellent for vocals. Instrument separation is really nice. Soundstage is stupidly wide, but one of the consequences of that is that sometimes details in your songs are going to be lost in that super wide soundstage, and unfortunately it's only wide. There is not a lot of up front and behind kind of dynamics, so it just sounds wide, not really like surround, let's say. So yeah, these are wide. You get a little bit of you lose a little bit of detail retrieval because of that, but regardless, instrument separation is really nice. Female vocals and male vocals sound excellent, and surprisingly, treble is inoffensive. It is not shouty, nor it is not thin. It's incredible, but this is not without its caveats. As you can see, these are really small, like super small, and well, they don't have a preform ear hooks, so these are bullet style, just like the Quarks that I showed you in the beginning. And well, fit is horrendous. I don't know if you are familiar with Etymotic, but you can fit this pretty deep in your ear canal. The thing is that these are a little bit more chunky than the Etymotics, so you cannot have that super deep fit and secure fit because these don't fit that deep, let's say. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So these kind of have to hang like this out of your ear, and unfortunately the cable is a little bit too heavy for this, so if you're walking, this is going to be happening a lot, and that is super uncomfortable. So I would actually recommend getting a triple flange ear tip so you can get a better fit, and also maybe you use this at home, because for walking and doing your daily commute, these are kind of bad because they are constantly slipping out of my ear. So the KB ear neons are going around for $50 or $40 depending on what shop you are getting them, but with 1111 you can get this for very cheap, and again, sound quality is outstanding. And well, with that out of the way, that would be pretty much it. I believe this is going to be a longer video than expected, but regardless. So again, I will have links to all of these IMs in the video description, so if you're interested in buying one or more, you can find the links there. Don't worry, they are not affiliate links. You are not giving me any money whatsoever. And well, I thank you very much for watching this video, or parts of it, I don't know. And well, I see you in my next video, which I don't know what I'm going to review, but I'm going to review something. So see you there.